Well, hello there YouTube, my name is GalaWOTs and today we are playing in the TVP T50/51 and we are playing here on Ruinburg, something like that. Yeah, Ruinburg, alright. And I'm taking my TVP into the city because from the position right here we have a lot of nice sniping shots at the middle and all the light tanks and medium tanks that hopefully are going to be coming up here. Of course we can be crossfired from here, but I find that often nobody really goes here, so we have some pretty nice shots from this position. And I shot at the T71 and actually auto-aimed on him, and then the LTTB went by and actually took the auto-aim instead, and I put a shell into him instead, but I'm not gonna whine about that. Nice 920 damage into the enemy light tanks at the start of the battle. And I'm also pretty happy because, as we can see, most of the enemy tanks have been spotted already, which means that we have a general idea about where they are at. And that also makes this position a lot safer to use, because now I know where the enemy tanks are at, and I know that there can't really come anyone around this corner that I haven't seen before. And they also don't have any artillery, and this position I'm in right now is one of the only places on this map that are actually able to be hit by artillery, so that's nice. That there are none of those, so I can't be hit. So right now the battle is actually set up for me to have a pretty successful round, because I have free shots here and nobody is in a position to counter me. There's no arty that can destroy me, so I can just sit here and farm damage. But don't worry, the battle is going to get a little more interesting later. And the first shot goes into the ground because reasons, but we put the 3 others in, and now the T95 comes around the corner. But I see he's a pretty bad player, and I know I can probably outplay this guy because he's the only one right there, but I don't want to go across because we know there's enemy tanks on that side and we don't really want to fuck around with that. So we want to trick him to cross the road and get over to our side, because we have so many people down here ready to fire and kill him. And right now we are up to 2,800 damage, and we see the T95 has actually been trapped and has gone to our side of the road. We put a nice shot into the top of his cupola, the second one hits the top of this turret and doesn't go through, and that one hit his viewport maybe, and we take his track at last. And I was kind of hoping the team behind me would put some shots into him, maybe the Jagdpanzer V100, but is apparently pretty hard, so I guess not. And this T110E5 decides that it's a good idea to show his ass, but it's actually pretty funny to see both of these players do this. And now I know he's tracked, and right there through his track is a really huge weak spot on the T95, and we are able to put all of the shots into him. And the E5 doesn't seem to know that, as he bounces his shell harmlessly off of his, maybe the lower plate he was trying to hit. And he does it again, and takes a huge shot from the T95. Actually the T95 was using the small gun, so it's not that bad, but still, the E5 should have been able to kill him. But now we've gotten rid of him, we are up to 4,400 damage, and we haven't lost any damage yet. We take out the T30, and we're gonna put some shots into the M103, but we actually, first one just completely missed, the second one seems like it went into nothingness, might have blind fired something, and the third one probably hit the M103 after he got unspotted. And as we can see, it looks like that shot went in. And we're just gonna reload again. Ready to put another clip in. This tank is just disgusting with its gun. It can just rip through enemy tanks like no tomorrow, man. And we only put one of the shells from that clip in, which is pretty bad. And I've never really run out of shells in this tank before, but it is going to happen in this game. And it's actually going to be pretty annoying that I wasted all of these shells, because this could have been my highest damage game ever. And it really is close to being so. And if you're watching the videos I put up on my channel, you will know that I had my highest damage ever uploaded just yesterday, where I did 9,700 damage in my Grille 15, and that was over 1,000 higher than my second highest damage ever. But now I have managed to do it again apparently. We are now up to 5,400 damage, and we still haven't lost any health. And for some reason the T110E5 doesn't shoot me, and I have a little derp moment here, but because I don't want to get hit by the E100, and I just managed to avoid him, which is nice of course. And now I can go around and hopefully put a clip into the side of the E5, and for some reason he's aiming at me, which is kind of annoying, but I guess I'll live with it. And we waste another 2 shells. We put the 2 first in. Actually we only put 1 shell into him, which is fucking bullshit. I believe those shells should have hit and penetrated, but they didn't. And now the E5 is coming for me, and I just managed again to get around the corner before he is able to do so, and then we can outflank him, because he thinks it's a good idea to just YOLO into all the enemy tanks. And that didn't really work out for him, I'd say. And as you can see, we are down to only 11 shells left, and I'm loading the last AP clip, and there's actually only 3 shells left in this clip, and this is the moment where I realize, holy shit, I don't have any armor left. And I put one of them into the side of the Type 4 Heavy, but the 2 others bounce, because that's his weak spot, but apparently those 2 decided to bounce anyway. So if all the shots that we have bounced off of bullshit luck on the enemy team just hadn't bounced, we had maybe been up to like 8k damage at this point, but of course not, that would be too easy. And another retarded bounce off of the bottom of the E100. And right now, and of course the Type 4 Heavy puts a HE shell into my ass, and right now I was trying to repair my track, but the game wouldn't let me. For some reason it just wouldn't let me repair my track. So I decided, alright, I can't take another shot from the Type 5 Heavy, but I can take one from the AT-15. So I'll get over here into cover, and now it will let me repair my ammo rack. For some reason it just didn't want to do that before. So I was pretty lucky to get out of that situation, because the game decided, nope, no repairs for you, mate. And now I'm like, alright, this guy's gonna go around the corner, put a shot into the VZ, and I can put my last clip into the side of this faggot over here. But of course the first one goes into spaced armor, disappears, and if that one had penetrated and actually done damage, this had been my highest damage round ever. And I tell people in my team that I'm out of ammo and that I've done 9k damage. And that is basically the end of this battle. This guy's gonna die, and we are gonna go take a look at the post-game stats. And as we can see, that was not too bad. We managed to pick up a tank ace in the TVP, which is pretty hard, because many people are playing really well in this tank. I wonder why. A couple of stickers, of course a high caliber, and a Confederate. And we managed to do 9,665 damage with our blind fires, and that is only like 20, 25, 30 damage less than my highest damage round ever that I played yesterday. It's kinda random that I have played 31,500 games, but the only 2 games I have played that was over 8.5k damage was within like 5 games in a row. That is kinda random. And we managed to end top on the team on experience as well, getting 1267 or 76, which is a pretty healthy amount of basic speed in a Terror 10 tank. And we did about half of the damage from a distance from over 300 meters with good sniping at the start of the match, and the battle was 8 minutes and 30 seconds long, which means we did over 1000 damage per minute. But that is not surprising when you have an autoloader that can go around the corner, do 1280 damage in 4.5 seconds, fall back, reload in 24 seconds and do it all over again. So pretty nice. And we had to fire all our ammunition. That means my 2 heat clips as well, which means that round cost 82,800 damage in repairs. No replenishing of ammunition, and 22,000 in repairs. but we still made a profit because we did so much damage. And that is basically it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Peace.